Hey folks, I'm Scott Carter with GatorsZone.com. I'm here with my colleague Chris Harry, and we're here in the O-Dome to preview Wednesday night's Florida and South Carolina men's basketball game. It's the SEC opener for both teams. Chris, the 10th ranked Gators coming here, winners of 5 in a row. Obviously, they trying to defend the SEC championship they won last year. They entered conference play last year 10-2. This year they're 11-2 as they start conference play. But a little bit different team. I mean, what are some of those differences in this year's team?
Well, they got 4 senior starters this year, and if you go back to last year's 10-2 record, Florida had played 2 games that they had lost. They'd lost to Arizona on the road, they'd lost to Kansas State on the road, and they had lost close games. Last year they played 6 single-digit games all season, lost all of them. They've already played 7 single-digit games this year and have won 5 of those. So it's a little more battle-tested group, and again, it's a senior group. You're talking Patrick Young, you're talking Casey Prather, Scotty Wilbekin, Will You Get. These are guys that have been through a lot. There's nothing these guys haven't seen to date relative to a basketball season. Now they're heading into their 4th conference season together. They've won 2 SEC regular season championships together. This team's ready to play a little conference basketball now.
If you've listened to Billy Donovan talk in recent days, I mean, one thing he wants to see out of this team as they do start conference play, he's talking about better ball movement offensively. I mean, Chris, you watch these guys practice, you obviously see what they're doing. I mean, you talked to Scotty Wilbekin after the most recent practice. And what's his role in this as a point guard, and what is Donovan looking for?
Well, he was not happy with the ball movement against Richmond, especially points in the first half and early in the second half. It got better in the second half as the game wore on and the Gators took over the game. But he talked about this team having blinders. A lot of these guys, they don't see peripherally well enough for him. There's some things that are open, passes on the wing when there's penetration and there's kicks, that kind of thing, that are open that he wants to take more advantage of. That's the kind of thing that they're working on. One of the other things Billy Donovan talks about, he doesn't think this basketball team has seen anything or has not seen anything that it won't see going forward into the SEC season. You're talking about a team that's gone to Wisconsin, that's gone to UConn. Granted, they lost those games, but they didn't have full rosters in those games. They played some very close games with Florida State. They beat Kansas. They played a tough Richmond team in their Princeton offense. So this team is prepared for a lot of different things with the Southeastern Conference. Now it's a matter of working on themselves, and part of that is ball movement, and they want more from Scotty Wilbekin. They want more than 3 assists from him, and he has a capability of really taking over games like he did against Kansas. He didn't play great the other day, but those kind of games are going to happen. He knows that. Billy Donovan coached him very hard, and he can take that. Well,
starting with South Carolina on Wednesday night, I mean, the Gators are going to be locked within the borders of the SEC for the next 18 games. I mean, you're going to see a league that opens conference play 3 ranked teams, Florida, Kentucky, Missouri. The Gators are number 10, the highest. What do you see from the conference here as the league slate opens?
Well, as far as South Carolina goes, they had a couple really tough losses. They lost to South Carolina Upstate. They lost to Manhattan. Then they turned around and beat an unbeaten St. Mary's team, which is a really good win. So they're capable. Billy Donovan has sold his team that they're capable of coming in here and winning. You're talking about a conference that only got 3 teams in the NCAA tournament last year: Florida, Ole Miss, and Missouri. All 3 of those teams are going to be good this year. Ole Miss has lost some of their big guys up front, but LSU is going to be a greatly improved team. Tennessee was a good team last year that underachieved toward the end of the season. That cost them an NCAA bid. So this is going to be a better league this year. The Gators are going to find out just how good they are. Arkansas should be a better team. After Florida plays South Carolina on Wednesday, their first road trip will be at Arkansas, where they were absolutely drummed last year, down 25 early in the game. That's a game we can talk about later, but the Southeastern Conference should be better this year than it was last year. The South Carolina team should be better than it was last year also.
Well, Chris, the Gators open conference play here, obviously Wednesday night against South Carolina. They're going for their 24th consecutive win here at the O-Dome, which would tie a program record, and that says something considering that a few years ago when that record was set, you had guys like Horford and Noah and Brewer running up and down this court behind us. So it's going to be fun on Wednesday night here at the O-Dome. For Chris Harry, I'm Scott Carter. Thanks for joining us.